Got the pictures? So the light is coming in from the left and going in across here, going to the right. What do you think this pink stuff is over here? That's sclera.
Sclera.
What is this black stuff over here?
Is that the
The choroid, choroid, and everything from this black layer on is retina. How many layers does the retina have?
4.
Everybody see the 4 layers? 1, 2, 3, 4.
okay?
Notice that there, if I put an arrow on this dark layer, that's a pigmented layer, be very careful on the test. Because there's the pigmented layer of the choroid, and there's the pigmented layer of the retina. There's 2 different answers.
So if it's darker, it's the choroid?
The darker one is the choroid, but this is also dark.
Right.
It's also trying to make sure the light doesn't spread. So now what happens with that ray of light? The light goes through this layer, through this layer, through this layer. It excites this layer, which then synapses with this layer, which then synapses with this layer, and it sends all the nerves over here out to the optic nerve. So the light goes in here, bounces back, comes down on a cable. The light bounces here, comes back, goes out on a cable. All the cables from all over the eye come out this one spot. That's the optic nerve, and that's why right over here, there is no retina, it's a blind spot. All right, now let's name these layers. 4 layers of the retina. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th or deepest layer is the pigmented layer of the retina. I don't think it's hard to memorize that one, is it?
No.
The very first layer of nerves here are the very special nerves that involve transducing the light into an action potential. This is called the layer, this is this nuclei over here, these are all nuclei. These nuclei are the nuclei of the photoreceptive cells, therefore this is called the photoreceptive layer.
Photoreceptive.
It receives the photons. As it gets excited, it then sends the axon over here to the dendrite over here, and this is the nuclei of the bipolar cells. We finally see these bastards. We've heard enough about them. I forget. Are bipolar cells? Do they have Schwann cells or not? Do they have a myelin sheath or not?
They don't have a myelin sheath.
No myelin sheath. You don't need it. See how close it is. It's not like it's going from your spinal cord to your big toe. That's a long distance.
Mm-hmm.
This is not so far. It doesn't need it. So going through the photoreceptive layer to the ganglion, to the bipolar layer. This is called the ganglion layer, and then they send the message on out. So let's see if we can do this again. Light comes through, gets stopped by the pigmented layer of the retina,
Mm-hmm.
which then over here, these are the dendrites of the photoreceptive cells,
Mm-hmm.
which then go through the nuclei, the photoreceptive layer,
Mm-hmm.
which then synapses with the bipolar cells, which synapses with the ganglion cells, which then goes all the way out over here to the optic nerve, all that wiring.
Okay.
Let's get a little more specific here. There are 2 kinds of photoreceptive cells, rods and cones. Most of the eye has rods. They're cheaper to make, and they're therefore black and white vision. So at night, when there's no light, and you see things in shadows and grays, blacks and whites, that's your rods and cones. When there's light on, and you have the ability to see color, those are the cones. You have fewer cones, they're more expensive to make, but they're important. So over here, I'm not going to look at you and say, can you tell me if this is a rod or a cone? You can't tell me, you don't know. Special staining, special slide technique to figure that out. So these are the photoreceptive layers made up of rods and cones. This is what layer is this?
Bipolar.
What
Bipolar.
layer is this?
The ganglion.
Ganglion.
Okay. Now, notice the next square is right in the sweet spot. Yes, I can. Oh, I'm sorry, that's got the layer. Sorry about that.